because I'm trying to not get frustrated with the audio. But did what I say make sense to you guys from what you've been seeing as well? As far as the
Got it.
rock is steeper and more interesting at depths greater than A6. I mean, sorry, shallower than A6. I don't know if you can hear me. Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh.
I'm not paying attention because we're still working on V-Link.
Yeah. It's hard.
I can hear you, Jim.
Not making any sense because I'm going in and out.
We may have, still working on it, may have found something.
Okay.
Definitely slopey.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, it's something swiggy with my science chat. I can see Steve's entries. I can see the science chat entries, but I can't see the list of who's on science chat any longer. And I've logged out. I've closed out. Maybe I could just turn my computer off and turn it back on.
Are you in the science chat that's paired with the Grafana feed or the one that's by itself?
The one that's by itself, my Grafana feed on this particular computer.
I'm just wondering whether or not you want to try to open the other one and just see.
I can't open the Grafana feed on this PC. I don't know. And the V-Link never worked on this PC either.
Okay, never mind. No, I
can try another Mac.
No, I think on the computer that you've been doing science chat, and because it's not loading right, whether or not you open the other version that has the Grafana feed, even though you don't need it, just to see if that gives you a more typical view.
I can't see the Grafana feed. It won't show up on this computer at all.
Okay.
So I could try my other computer. I've got 3 computers tonight. Actually, I have 4.
What is that?
I have a big screen, and then I have 3 computers,
can we zoom
and I have
in?
one dedicated to V-Link.
It looks like a baking pan.
Oh, what is that?
Oh,
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 yeah.
I was wondering if it's the rest of the car, but no.
no.
Actually,
Ew,
What do you
too.
think, Al,
It's car maintenance
Al, what
gone
do you think
way
they
wrong.
baked in that?
yeah, those were brownies.
Those look like lasagna pans.
All right,
Oh
let's
wait,
come
no,
wide out.
it's a too
Maybe
deep
brownie
lasagna.
pans.
We could use some of those for the wet lab, actually.
We have time to recover? Sample those
Throw
pans.
them in BioBox.
And they say you can't go shopping when you're out at sea.
There, we got a fish finally.
Yeah, we
Oh,
haven't
when you
seen a
can't go
fish in
ashore,
a
you have to
while.
get creative with your supplies. So the story is so far, somebody was driving a car. They lost a wheel and an axle, presumably, probably on the way to a picnic, carrying trays of food. All right, what else? This is a
Potato
fun
salad.
game. Yeah, this is a fun game. Whatever trash we find next would fit into the story.
And the bag of chips is where?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
There's no more on the ship.
Oh, it's on
Dan's
shore.
just-
Chad took them all.
You're pouring salt in that wound, huh, Dan?
Oh, Bob was on
What did
mute, but
we
he
miss?
said, "Is that confirmed that we that we don't have any more?" In a really kind of sad voice.
Yeah, Bob's downgraded from chips to saltines.
Yeah. If we keep this up, I'm going down there for some cookies.
Saltines are pretty risky because like every 4th pack is pretty stale.
But that's a good sign, because if all the saltines were gone, that would mean that people would need the pretzels and the saltines because of seasickness.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been a lot of seasickness going on.
We've been out here a while.
Is that a Zoom request?
Yeah, please.
Sam,
Yes?
I know that the isobaths are merely a suggestion, but I'm curious. I forgot what the depth was when the dive started, but I'm curious. We're just getting in kind of to this larger rock and how
All
that
right, let's come on.
compares to the depth where the dive started.
Let me check here. I can zoom out on HiPAC and confirm the depth that we started. Depth that we started for this watch, or depth that the dive started a few hours ago?
Well, the dive, yeah,
Stand by here.
beginning.
It looks like the dive started at 3,100 meters, 3156.
Okay. They didn't have any of these, like, of the larger kind of sedimentary fields in that beginning of that dive. So I was just curious if there's certain depths we're going to try to stay above.
I sense it coming.
Yep, just getting set up.
I'm ready for you.
All right, let's go ahead and zoom in.
So this is a white sponge that's kind of trumpet shaped. We've seen quite a few of these over the course of this dive on the southwestern side of Davidson Seamount. And we were earlier in the dive during the watch change between the 4 to 8 and the 8 to 12 watch, able to get a piece of one so that it can be identified later by some sponge experts.
All right, let's come wide.
Square it off? Oh, you might want to square off on your porch.
One 135, right, Sam?
That's affirmative.
Should I strafe over a bit, Bob? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Erica reminded us that we should be making notes in H1830 dive recovery data report. And I know I have not been doing that. So I'm going to go in and check.
I put the samples in there.
Yeah.
But feel
I'll
free
have
to
look
put
through.
additional notes.
Okay. We collected several Several water samples. What? Did we
Yeah.
collect one sponge sample also?
Yes. Right at the watch change, we collected a piece of that white trumpet-looking sponge that Amanda told us she wasn't able to identify and would like a piece so that she can work on that identification later. So we do have
So
that.
Jen, you're
and,
really broken up here.
okay.
That's probably
Maybe
on our
can you-
end. We
Okay,
are.
maybe Jen, can you text me, and I'll add the data date. Thank you, Erica, for reminding us of that. I completely forgot about that. I've been busy with my B-Link and science chat.
You sound great. Yeah, I think if everybody had, okay. $16. That was lead A, right? Yeah, oh, what about the coder? Is that the same encoder? Oh.
Al, can you hear me?
We can. You're a little
Okay.
staccato, but we're working on it.
Is that sea cucumber have
okay.
things coming off of it? That's
We're
pretty
trying
weird.
different encoders to try to
See
improve the
it?
signal.
I saw it.
Those wings.
How about these balloons of lava, though? Or basalt? It's definitely a formation
look
we
at
haven't
that
seen.
crazy sea
Oh
cucumber.
yeah, those sometimes
Got
they have those.
rabbit ears.
Yeah.
That's Psychropodes.
Yeah.
It's a sail actually.
Oh, it's one of the swimming cucumbers.
No, it doesn't swim, but it's a sail. I'm guessing. I don't really know what it's used for. They mostly stay on the bottom.
These basalt pillows are pretty distinctive.
So are we gonna go straight south at some point to A7?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about kind of just continuing to head the southeast, kind of rise up the slope, and
Cool.
then following this yellow, since the yellow is accurate, or the bathy is accurate, the contours are not.
Cool.
So once we get north of A7, we'll just drop down south. I think. The
Sounds
hope is
good.
that it'll be the top of a ridge,
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
but hope. If we find that the slope looks like it's at a different angle, we can start it early too. It already kind of looks like we're at the top of the slope, doesn't it?
Yeah, I kind of just got hit by the current too.
Yeah, which makes me think that it's at the top.
It's like, what?
It looks like we're here-ish. So we'll want to reset when we stop. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm out in front of.
Argus, yeah.
Yeah, Herc's in front of Argus.
Well, how about here then?
Yeah.
Definitely seems like we're about to go off down this slope.
Okay, that may make sense. There might be a little knoll and then a little dip and then another knoll. I would say proceed.
Okay.
Based off of what we have, which may or may not be much. We'll find out.
Steve, can you give me a review of the eDNA water samples that we collected
Yep.
on this dive?
I put them in the chat a few minutes ago at 35 past. Number 23 is a water sample for eDNA near a mixed coral community with multiple species, and 24 was a water sample in a bamboo coral whip field. Wasn't really a field, it was maybe like half a dozen colonies, but still it's appreciable density.
Okay.
So in sonar, it's looking like we might have a slope on the port side, right, for Herc?
I'm definitely flying down.
You're going down, okay.
But I'm not going straight down it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, never mind, yes. Looking at it backwards.
Like if I were to face south, I think we'd be going pretty much straight down this slope.
Okay. Oh, we don't want that, so let's...
Yeah, I'm just kind of for reference.
Trying to figure this out.
I'm also flying high enough up because we have pretty good view in Argus cam, so don't want to get too close to the bottom here.
Yeah.
Very turbid up here for some reason. I'm noticing there's a lot more suspended matter in this area. The rock is blanketed.
Do a bit of a shelf or a ledge to the starboard side now. Or perhaps just slope.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
No. Hi. Okay.
You're just quiet. I thought we lost you.
Just for a moment, I'm going to put butt
Close,
cam up.
you can have those.
Yeah. I'll just kind of hang out here a little bit then.
I just put up Herc butt camera, channel 3,
Okay.
and I'll go back to the map in a second.
Okay. So sorry, Sam, but my audio's been cutting in and out, so I haven't been able to totally follow what you guys have been discussing.
No worries. We are on HIPAC. We finished moving through the rectangular yellow area, and we are now headed southeast towards working our way down towards A7, but staying along the yellow parts of the bathy map that we had originally identified, hoping that we'll find slope again. There did seem to be a little bit of a knoll that we were on previously, a little drop down in between the two knolls, and we're hoping that there's going to be a slope pretty much dead ahead of us now.
Okay. I saw those big, like, I don't know if you call them boulders or what.
So are we heading over to A9 now?
Still at A7. We're just going a little southeast to try to stay along the yellow, bright yellow, on the bathy, and then we'll drop south after the next move. The contour lines are still off, so that's trying to stay on the top of what looks like a ridge, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Also, as we know, ground truthing looks a lot different.
Yeah, those that area that we just passed through with the kind of the, I call them bowling ball boulders. Looks a very interesting geology. I wonder if they're, I'm not a geologist. I only play one on B-Link. But maybe concretions, basically more tenacious material that, you know, if there's a high current, kind of eroding the softer materials around them. I don't know.
I guess I'm going more based on the ship, but if Argus is straight down from the ship, then I think we're already in this little valley between A7 and A9.
Not quite there yet. We're still directly above A7. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think based on the ship, because at this depth,
yeah,
I don't know that I'd.
Let's try heading south then and see if we can get back to some of that slope then. Bridge nav.
Can we?
30 meters, 180.
So I was just looking on one of the Earth water temp readouts, and it's very cold down here. About 1.6 Celsius. 0 is freezing. So let's see. I'll have to calculate that in order to just translate it into Fahrenheit, but that's still very cold. Very cold, very dark, very dense water. Yeah, I can hear you, Jen.
Oh, yay. Okay. So, Sam, are you adjusting the ship's location so that the ROVs will head towards A7? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, we're going to try that. But
Okay.
we're thinking that based on our depth, there's probably also an offset on the readout that we're getting for where Herc and Argus are. So it's more likely they're closer to the ship.
Oh, really? So we'd be going back up to A7?
Nope, we're still heading down to A7, but we may be kind of on the down slope.
Yeah, I think just trying to avoid overshooting it
there
to
we
the
go.
east there.
Yeah. Okay, so that
and there's rock.
makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, back to slope. That makes sense then.
All right, Al, can we get a quick zoom on that? Cool, thank you.
Another nice sponge. This is really interesting geology.
Yeah, as soon as we
All right,
climb back
Al,
up
let's
a
zoom
little
in.
bit.
A lot of there's a lot of erosion that had been going on here. Had to have been either earthquake or currents, because sea level was never this low.
All right, let's come wide.
I guess it historically was a geologically active area. It's just not been that way.
Your camera's
quite some
retracted, isn't
time.
it?
Oh, you're right.
What is that?
Zooming out a
Oh,
little.
squat lobster.
Ah, a lobster swimming by.
Porch light is off too.
Is that better?
I'm just checking if
It was
you all
on.
can hear
You
me.
want it on or off?
Oh no, I want it on. I just was wondering. Just don't
Sam,
have
can you
much
hear
light
me
in front of
still?
the vehicle.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, but broken up.
Okay.
Oh, there's a nice sponge.
Wow.
Oh, we haven't seen a yellow sponge in a while, or maybe at all. Can you get a quick zoom on that?
Yeah, let's zoom in now.
It's a different one.
You have a little bit more.
I do.
Keep centering it up.
All right, good captures on that.
Nice. All right, let's come wide. I should jump ahead here.
You need to scoot over too.
Yeah. Another one up ahead, though. Another two, maybe.
There's quite a few or sponges and corals up here.
Yeah, can we? Looks like another black coral. Soda can.
Yeah. Let's zoom in on that.
I don't think that's a soda.
Full top.
It's old.
Adult beverage.
Yeah.
All right, let's come
Vintage. With that pull top
Still-
cap.
wide. Still want to
Did
get
it?
squared up.
Did it have it pulled up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure
Yep.
did. I think it was a Billy beer. Are those?
That'd be quite rare.
One.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you.
I was about to ask. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I feel like all I'm saying is, can you hear me now?
Verizon commercial.
Sam, can you hear me?
I can.
I was curious to know what the slope map has for this area, which obviously has steep slopes.
Yeah,
Sure
pretty
thing.
far out in front.
Yeah, sorry.
Just curious.
Um, So I just switched over to the slope map. I don't know how this much,
Hmm.
how the slope map is offset with the contour lines.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I suspect that where you can see the green is probably where these contour lines of the top of this knoll should have been, but a little hard to tell. And I don't know
Okay.
the offset for this one.
But the cooler colors would be saying that there's no slope where we are, which is not. So this
Great.
is not a helpful. This is not a helpful background.
Exactly.
I'm just checking. I'm just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's where we're at, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Just checking the toolbox and knowing which things to keep and which things to not. So this one's worth throwing out.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think we're in the
Okay.
yellow and green somewhere.
Okay.
But we've got kind of a couple of different mental gymnastics that we're doing here because the contour lines are offset, and then because we're at such depth, we think also the icons here for Hercules and Argus are also not accurate. They're probably closer to where the ship is and closer to actual A7 target, but
Yeah, given that we're coming up this
yeah.
pretty steep.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what we should do after A7. Because A8 appears to be similar to A7.
Where is
From
I'm zooming out now. A8
right?
is,
South.
southeast, yeah. So if you want to keep
And
following the ridge, it seems like this is a good way to continue.
Okay. And then we would maybe tow out and drop down and then climb up to A9.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. And we're actually past the time blocks that I had put on my notes because
I'm kind of
A6,
curious to get to
the
the top
estimate.
of this ridge.
So did I drop out of audio again?
No, you're here.
Okay, good. So just as a time check, we were supposed to get.
I'm gonna take Argus off of the heading, just to keep you in view.
Yeah.
Shoreside, would you like to see if we can find the top of this ridge?
Yes.
Roger. I'm going to set the ship then a little west. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mhm.
Do we want due west or southwest?
Maybe just a one-step due west so we don't overshoot A7.
Can you pan left, pilot?
Yeah. This coral?
No, further. Looking for a branched piece that was kind of in the distance, down a little bit. Right here.
Got it. Can we get the lasers back on, Bob?
I'm just not gonna turn those off.
Yeah.
It should just be on a timer so they automatically turn back on. You know?
Okay, we're taking that step due west.
Got it.
Pillows are massive.
Sure.
Okay, let's zoom in.
That is a weird
Somebody took a bite.
brachiorchid.
All right, let's come wide.
All set. So that's Chrysogorgia pinnata. That's actually one we've seen on previous dives at Davidson, even, well, I guess on the last cruise now, technically on the next one.
Seems like we might have just made it to the top.
Yeah.
We've got 15 meters left of our ship move. So I might change us back. What do we think? Because it doesn't look like the ridge is that
Yeah, it doesn't look
wide.
that wide, and I
So
think we're
Well,
here, yeah.
you're not
step
at the
down
top,
south.
You're not at the top yet.
And I guess Argus is still a bit behind
see.
Herc, so we could let Argus come finish the move.
10 meters left. I guess that gives us a little flexibility.
If there's anything of interest, just point it out too.
I suspect we've lost shore side again.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some predation going on in that bamboo coral. You see that on the lasers now? There's that sea
Oh,
star
yeah.
eating that bamboo coral. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
What else do sea stars eat?
Oh, coming loose. Let's come wide here.
Yeah, coming wide. Let's see, yeah. Thank you.
I'm actually gonna get back onto Argus cam. There we are. So do we still have a ship move underway?
We are just about stopped.
Okay. So
Actually,
we're pretty stretched out here. We also have a wrap in the 6-8, and so I'm gonna wanna have Argus do a spin, and I guess, yeah, well, Bob's gone. I'm just gonna come back a little bit closer, put
Okay.
some slack in the tether, and then have Argus do a quick spin.
that's great. And then when you're set with Herc, I'd like to reset the DVL too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have Herc just, actually let me come a little bit closer.
Get ourselves sorted.
Yeah. Actually, I think the ship might still be moving, just like, I know sorry, the ship isn't, but I think
Yeah.
Argus is still catching up, so.
Probably.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hi. All right. I'm hoping to stay on a little longer with you. So I did have a little side conversation with Chad before he tries to get some police, and we're thinking that what we discussed as far as A7 along this ridge towards A8 and then towing out and then heading up to A9 is a good plan. And Steve, I know that like Meredith mentioned something that she was interested in potentially collecting. We're ahead of schedule, so if we do see something like that, we should take the time to collect it, or any other really like high value targets if we see them.
Okay.
We're ahead of schedule. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right.
I kind of got what you were saying. I think I understand the gist of it, but you're a little broken.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
So just to update you, Bob, that last ship move had us pretty stretched out, and there was a wrap in the 6-8, so I just decided to swing around on Argus. But I think we're still at our tether limits right now.
Okay, you want to step again?
So where do I want to come?
Do we want to do a... It's hard to know where... So what's Argus at right now? 247-ish.
So I think I see the light down there.
Bridge nav. 20 meters, 247.
So which way do I want to come on? Okay.
All right, ship's taking a southwest step. 247. No? Okay. Bridge nav. Hold position.
Yeah.
We are trying to go south. 180. But I've not put in any ship moves.
I think it might, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if we've lost the ridge, we can get back to 270 bearing.
Yeah. Well, I still want to take the wrap out of the 6.8. No, we were halfway through that when then we reached our tether limits. Yeah.
Does this old guy have time for the head call? Bio break?
What was that?
Does this old guy have time for bio break, or are you gonna need a zoom?
Yeah, yeah, I think you're fine.
All right, thank you. Be right back.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Can we do a DVL reset? Well, it's not over there. Yeah, good luck. How's that? Now what? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So to get back to A7, we are actually directly east of it. So let's go directly west. 270.
Copy that.
Bridge nav. 30 meters. 270.
I got it.
I'm testing my audio again.
Much
Is it
better.
any better? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Al's not here.
I hope it's. Oh. I hope it stays that way. For people who are
And
following
I'm
along.
back on too.
Oh, it's been a bit quieter than usual, and I am sorry for that. This year, the setup is a little different, and both Jan and I, the science
Yeah.
team from the sanctuary on this watch, are working remotely from home, and our audio connection with the ship has been fairly unstable over the last few hours. So it's been a little difficult to have clear communications to discuss what we're seeing and give some contextual information about the dive. We've been somewhat saving that for operations talk, but maybe we are in a better spot with the satellite or something, and so we'll have better audio for a little while now. Is it still sounding good?
This is Al.
You're
I'm not getting
breaking up.
involved.
Okay. I guess it's getting crackly.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little.
Okay. So it might just be a bit of a quieter dive right now than we would like from at least the science. From me, Jan, maybe you're going to be okay for a while. But while we're holding here, maybe you guys could do some quick introduction. Or did we lose Jan too?
Mine keeps going in and out, and I'm like bouncing back and forth between listening through the science chat versus over the link.
Yeah. I'm getting some advice to continue my yoga breathing over science chat. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. Yoga breathing.
Keep us calm. So, Sam,
Yes?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No, not Jan, Sam.
Oh, I can also hear you.
Okay.
We've got a Jan and a Sam and a Jen, and it gets interesting. So we're hanging here for a minute.
Yeah,
Was it a tether issue or what's going on?
we were just getting ourselves sorted with tether and our navigation system reset. We are hoping to get back to that ridge that we were on, which should be dead ahead, and I think we can see a little bit of slope happening in our sonar, so that's a good sign. Once we're back up on that ridge, I think we'll continue heading south down the yellow towards A8, hoping that we're staying along that ridge.
Yes.
And in case we do drop comms with you again, we'll head down to A8, and if we start getting downslope again, do you just want us to start heading to A9 when we start heading downslope?
Yeah, once we start getting out of the interesting, geological formations and getting into more sandy or silty stretches, then, yeah, I think we should just take the kind of shortest path to, it seems like we don't, want to get below 3,000 or even, 3,050 meters. It just seems to be all sediment after that. But, so just try and come in on the other side towards A9 at a similar depth where we kind of lose the rock as we're leaving this site. Does that make sense?
That sounds great. Okay.
Okay.
Can do that. Thanks. So that ship move is just about complete and the vehicles are coming behind it. I'm still not seeing, I thought we had, I guess we got a little bit of return for starboard.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that ridge is just right up on our right.
Yeah, do we want to try swinging around? There are some more rocks there. In that case, pretty weird if In that case, the ridge we were following would have ended here then. Because now we're actually we're almost looking back at where our last position before we started working on the tether. It's to the starboard.
Yeah.
We've almost made a full circle. So it could have just been a big mound of rocks, and now we're at the end of it.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, when I align Herc with that big pile of rocks,
Yeah.
that's looking back, you know,
At where we
closer to
were.
where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we may have found the top and
Fallen off it.
And that's okay. So in that case, let's swing back around. We can keep trying going south then and follow this yellow, hoping to find another pile of rocks.
Pile of rocks, here we come.
Pile of rocks, all right. Bridge, nav. meters, 180, please. And we can, of course, change course if we do find a pile of rocks somewhere we don't think they are, which is the name of the game this time.
Well, it looks like 180 is also going to be heading us uphill.
Perfect. That's the hope. And that's what the bathy kind of shows, but because it's not super, well, because we don't have the right contours and the resolution is perhaps also off. Can't really tell, but this is great. We found another slope.
All right, pile of rocks.
Pile of rocks. All the geologists are cringing. Sorry, geologists.
Very interesting looking pile of rocks. Is that
Very
better?
much.
No, I'm
Yes. Very beautiful, interesting formations.
Ooh, there are corals there on the rock. And beautiful white sponge with some anemones and feather-stalked crinoids to the left.
Sorry, I'm just going to keep getting myself centered here. So now we're heading off.
So, Steve, can you fill me in on the coral that Meredith was particularly interested in? What are we looking for?
That last bit dropped off. Can you repeat that?
What are we looking for Meredith? The coral she was particularly interested in?
We're really just looking for things that are on the list or rare or unusual.
But there was one she wrote about specifically, you guys in the science chat were talking about?
Yeah, she was talking about Acanella, which is a bamboo coral that